I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you some practice questions to convert units. We'll first consider imperial units and then we'll take up an example where we'll convert imperial to metric and metric to imperial. Here we have 4 questions. You can pause the video, copy these questions, answer, and then look into my suggestions. We need to convert from miles to yards, yards to miles, feet to feet. That is typing error. Let me write this as yards. And miles to feet. So it's a multiple choice question. Now some of you might not remember the conversion factors, so let me write down how are they related. So 1 mile is equal to 1760 yards. And 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. We don't have conversion to inches, but anyway, you could write 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So these are the conversion factors. I like you to use these conversion factors and then convert. So let's begin. We have 2 miles. We want to convert that to yards. So there will be many more yards. So you multiply. So we multiply 1760 times 2 to get our answer. So double this, we get 3520 as the answer. Is that clear? Right. Question number 2. 8800 yards to miles. So we'll get a smaller number, right? Conversion factor is 1 mile is 1760 yards. So what you could do here is when you write this 8800 yards, think like this. 1 mile is 1760 yards. You want in miles, so you could write this as times 1 mile, right? Divided by 1760 yards. So in this case, if you write like this, yards and yards cancel, you get units in miles. I've shown you this method because at times students get confused whether to multiply or to divide. Now that clearly shows that it should have been divided, right? And then mile is much longer, so you need lesser number here, right? So that is another way to look into this. And if you divide this, then 7 times 5 is 35, and that should give you 8800. So you get answer C as the right option. So you can divide this by 1760 to get your answer. Okay. Now, do question number 3 and 4 yourself and then check with my solutions. We have to convert feet to yards. What should you do? Should you multiply or divide? So they'll have 1 yard is 3 feet, correct? So to convert from feet to yard, you could think like this, 90 feet. And we know 1 yard is 3 feet. So 1 yard over 3 feet. So feet and feet cancel, you get units in yards. Do you see that part? So 90 divided by 3 basically, which is 10. So you get option A as the right option. So working in units in this fashion helps you to show your work correctly and always get the right answer, right? 1 mile into feet. Now we know in a mile we have 1760 yards, so we'll write 1 mile times 1760 yards. And now to convert from yards to feet, we know 1 yard is 3 feet, so we'll write this as 3 feet divided by 1 yard. Is that okay? So you could convert. So basically you have to multiply 1 by 1760 by 3. So once you multiply these 3 numbers, you get your answer. Correct? So you have to multiply. So 1 mile is equal to 1760 times 3, so many feet. Is that clear? Right. So when you multiply, you can do these two, right? 7 times is 21, you get 2 there, and so more than 5, 52, 80 is your answer. So you get 5280. Do you see that part? So that is how you could actually work with imperial units. So I hope this is absolutely clear. Now let's take up an example to convert imperial to metric units. We'll consider how to convert imperial to metric unit and metric units to imperial system with the help of 4 questions. These are multiple choice questions. I'd like you to pause the video, copy these questions, answer, and then look into my suggestions. We are basically converting from miles to kilometers, yards to meters, inches to centimeters, and kilometers to miles. You might need conversion factors, so let me write them down for you. So we know that 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. 1 yard is equal to 0.9144 meters. 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So these conversion factors should really help you to do the needful. Now I think you can pause the video, answer, and then check with my solutions. The very first one here is writing miles to kilometers. 1 mile is 1.6. So if you travel 2 miles, you travel more than 2 kilometers. So you could do 1.6 times 2 to get the answer, which is 3.2. Option A is the right option. Now 1 yard is almost as good as a meter, right? But slightly less, as you can see. 1 yard is 0.9 meters, right? Slightly less. So slightly less than 10 is 9, so that gives me the answer. They are almost same, as you can see, 10% less. You can think like this. So that gives you a quick answer. Question 3. Inches to centimeter. 2.54 is the conversion factor. So times 2 and then add half of it to get approximate value. Do you understand? So if you do double this, you get 40 and half of this is 10. So approximately this gives you around 50. In a multiple choice question, 51 is a very good option. You're getting my point. So many times calculator may not be there with you. So we say 2.5 times. Think like this. It is 2.5. So if you think like this, it is easier. So twice 20 is 40 and half of 20 is 10. So when you add them, you get 50. So your approximate answer 51 is correct. It is more than that, right? So it is plus side, more than. So 50 more than, not the lesser one. Okay. So I think that gives you fairly good answer without using a calculator. Now, kilometers to miles we have seen. That means in miles it will be lesser number, right? So lesser than, slightly lesser than 5 kilometers should be your answer. So here you have to divide 5 by 1.6 to get the answer. Correct? So to approximate, what you should do is, you know it is slightly less, but more than this, probably we are expecting 3. So what you could do is multiply 1.6 by 3 to get the, you can do the reverse, right? In a multiple choice question and get your answer. Or, well, divide it approximately. So for this, what do we get? Let's use the calculator if possible. 5 divided by 1.6 gives you, in decimal, 3.12, correct? So as we were going to approximate this, you could have estimated 3.1, right? And using calculator, we are sure that it is 3.1. I hope this exercise helps you to even answer questions without calculator. So at times in a multiple choice test paper, calculator may not be allowed. In that case, you could approximate and get the answer as we tried to do for some questions here. I hope you learn and appreciate with this example. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that will be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.